Have a wonderful drink of moon cola.
The year 2099. The Earth destroyed. Humanity's last great hope lies on the dark side of the moon, huddled in an abandoned mining colony, sending signals back through time to chronicle mankind's greatest creations and save the planet once and for all. The game's still weird. The storyline more convoluted than ever. The boys still tugging.
You are now listening to Joystick Tuggers.
Rare earth mints. Taste of peppermint.
Don't swallow two of those because they'll pinch your intestines with flavor.
Whew! Things are hot. Tastes like I'm eating a carcinogen.
That's a good thing.
It is good, but it seems like it can't be good for my tongue health.
Are these made of aluminum? I mean, they're an aluminum-oid.
Mm-hmm. Maybe they were made at a high altitude.
Makes sense. I mean, we are on the moon. That's about as high as the altitude can go.
If I breathe in, it's cold. If I breathe out, it's cold.
Mm-hmm.
What does it mean?
You ever seen those like York peppermint patty commercials where it's like almost like pornographic, where you like they take a bite of the York peppermint patty and like their pupils dilate and like it zooms in on their skin and shows like goosebumps popping up, and then they're like,
no, this is horrifying.
It's a real thing, and it's. I mean, I'm assuming it's banned in some countries. They're absolutely disturbing.
Like zoomed in, shows like them sweating a little bit, and then shows like and it goes down their back and shows like their butt crack, like a little drip of sweat coming down it.
That's right. That's how you know it's good.
Zooms in, goes down into the pants, it like illuminates and shows like their anus, and it shows it pucker.
Yep.
It's horrifying.
York peppermint patties. Get you some.
Whew. Well, I'm rip roaring and tearing for heat.
Tearing for heat? Uh-huh.
Well, is it on?
I don't know. Let me try something here.
Is it on?
It tastes like it's on.
Yeah, it looks like that worked. Hello. This is Joystick Tuggers, calling you from the future.
Archive number
or for some in the past. This is our archive 06. Our archive 05.
Sorry, I'm done.
Our 6th anniversary.
6 years on the moon.
We've been here for 6 years. Actually, we have been here for 6 years. We've also been here for more years than that. But we have been here at least 6. That is true.
Also 4 weeks. Or 5 weeks. 6 weeks.
6-week anniversary, 6-year anniversary.
What's
the
the
mooniversary.
Isn't it one rotation of the Earth? Only 1 month on the moon, so I guess that makes sense. Weeks, months, same thing.
I don't know. We stopped tracking time a while ago.
When the Earth ceased to exist.
When it's all dark, what does it matter?
That's true.
We just let it go. I mean, I think in I think the people in the base with jobs probably keep time, but we don't. We just go through the archive all day, and then we fall asleep when we need to, and we wake up and just keep going through the archive.
Just fall asleep mid-game, wake up, keep playing, stay awake for 76 hours at least.
Yeah, so I mean, we don't really have a need for time, but I'm sure there are people out there on the moon that do, and maybe they have some sort of like new moon calendar, the NMC.
Mm-hmm.
Not the NWC, it's something different. It's the New World calendar, which was on Earth before it was destroyed.
Right. WCW versus NWC.
The NWC.
Wolfpack.
Yeah.
Kevin Nash and Scott Hall came in and they said, we get a new calendar. Hey, yo, you know me?
There's WWC, the World Wrestling Calendar, and then there was the New World Calendar.
Right.
New World Calendar won because it had like a lot of people with it on its side. It wasn't just the wrestlers. Only wrestlers were on the side of the WWC.
Also WCC World Championship Calendar.
Yeah. But the problem was the wrestlers were too split. They were also just wrestlers, whereas the other side was like kind of like an Illuminati, like, you know, people with all the control, the power, and the money,
right.
and they just killed all the wrestlers.
Calendar Syndicate.
And that was during the great wrestler death of 2121, which actually occurred before then. Keep in mind, we're in 2099. That's old calendar. This is AD.
Right.
2121 was according to the New World calendar, which we don't really follow here on the moon. So although it took place in 2121, it was actually before now.
Correct.
Because the Earth was destroyed in the year 2121, according to the New World calendar, which followed a non-linear time scale.
Was that like 2,000 years after the fact, or like 20,000 years after the fact?
No.
Oh, okay.
It was like just the next year.
Oh, makes sense. Oh, yeah, okay. That makes sense.
That was only like 6 or 7 years into the New World calendar.
Oh, okay.
It's complicated.
So speaking of New World calendars, we played a couple games this week.
We did. We played 2 games, actually, like we try to stick to here for the archive. Well, we played more than that, but only 2 were fitting of being saved into the annals of time. The first thing that we wanted to stick into the annals was a game called, if I can remember, I mean, I know one was Chester Cheetah. We know this.
Wild Wild Quest.
That's what it was. Chester Cheetah, Wild Wild Quest, which features one of our favorite things, which is Adver Gaming. And then our second game is Jim Power in the Lost Dimension 3D.
Correct. You got it.
2 true classics that everyone knows.
Well, I mean, everybody knows Wild Wild Quest. It's based on
Wild Quest.
Top grossing movie of all time.
Yeah. Will Smith's Wild Wild Quest.
Everyone loves that movie. I like the part where the guy has no legs and he says something about he's like, stand up because he can't
Get
stand
up, stand up. Stand up for your Wild Wild Quest.
I love that. I love that game. And I love that movie. I love the movie Game, starring Chester Cheetah. Not actually reprising the role of Will Smith like you would think. Because, I mean, everybody knows that, you know, Will Smith, Chester Cheetah, they look very similar.
Very similar.
Both have extreme addictions to Cheetos. Actually,
very big front face, like, growths.
Yeah, well, that's
Noses, that's the word.
Noses.
Big nose.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's right.
That's why they're so sexual.
Well, Will Smith was, well, that too. Will Smith was also, he was the Fresh Prince. When he was the Fresh Prince, the guys that made Big Nose were like, this dude has got $1 million schnoz.
He did.
I mean, that's where they got the idea.
This guy schnoz is better than Schnozzy Schnoz. And he was known for his schnoz.
That guy was named. He came out of the womb and his parents were like, you're schnoz.
You're going to get me named after it.
First name?
We're going to name you Schnozzy, and we're going to change our last names to Schnoz.
Well, is his middle initial E? Or is his middle initial E? Or is his first name Schnoz?
I always assumed his name was Schnozzy Schnoz.
Okay. So, this game, it's a Chester Cheetah joint.
Did you know he once got busy in a Burger King bathroom?
Chester Cheetah?
Schnozzy Schnoz. And I assume Chester Cheetah.
Together?
Probably.
Nice.
Noise. That's not a noise. Now this is a noise. Chester Cheetah in the Wild Wild Quest. Wild Wild Quest. Wouldn't you agree?
I would agree. I've been there. I've been to the Wild Wild Quest.
Chester Cheetah, I'd say he's known primarily for being a mascot for Cheetos.
Yeah, it's exclusively what he's known for.
Yes, that's his most notable career move so far.
Mm-hmm.
In addition to that, though, he has been the star of several video games. Several being at least 2. Produced during the 90s.
I think at least 2, and I think at most 2.
Yes, this one.
I would say greater than or equal to.
A lot of people are going, yeah, Chester Cheetah, we know. Chester Cheetah in Too Cool to Fool. We get it. We know this game.
Everyone had that game.
It's the best game. We're not talking about Too Cool to Fool. We're talking about its lesser known brother, its lesser known cousin, its lesser known stepdad.
All of the above.
Chester Cheetah in Wild Wild Quest.
That's how they roll in that Wild Wild Quest. They all just share family members.
Which features him on the search for a lost Atlantean city inside the United States known as Hip City.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the game does not get into really what is at Hip City. He makes it sound like it's a desirable location to be, but he doesn't really get it. Is it where the U.S.'s artificial hips are manufactured?
That's right. That's where they keep them all.
Is it where particularly cool people are? Is the city itself particularly
Doubtful.
cool?
I mean, I've seen Chester Cheetah, and that guy looks like he has some kind of atrophy going on anyway. Probably from literally eating just Cheetos. And
it looks like he ate just Cheetos, then went to space for like a year, and then came back.
Yeah, he's definitely got the bends. He's got some just like.
He's got the cyber bends, and he's got the astro bends.
Yeah, he's got some real bad problems. He probably doesn't drink enough joint juice. I would assume he needs some joint juice. He needs to IV.
Definitely does not look like he does. Like
he needs to like intravenously take that joint juice. So maybe he probably. It doesn't say in the game. It doesn't say why he's going there. I'm assuming it's because he's like
he needs joint replacement.
Oh yeah, he definitely needs. He's probably honestly. He's probably not.
Maybe they have like free healthcare there in that like specific area, and he knows he can get like free hip replacement.
I'm sure he has high cholesterol, so he probably can't. He probably can't get put on a list. So he probably has to go to Hip City, which is like it's not the government. It's not where the government keeps it. It's like down low, gray to black market, and they're not even fake hips. They're just like, you just kill people and just take their hips.
Oh, it's like straight up like man femur.
Yes,
that they're selling.
Yes.
Oh.
That's probably where he's going. I mean,
well, that gives this kind of like a darker undertone. It makes sense why the game has kind of this intro screen that's done in like a very Miami Vice vaporwave style that kind of would describe why it has these kind of undertones of illicit murder, illicit human body part trafficking.
Right.
Well, you're talking about.
Mean Eugene is the guy that's trying to stop him. He grabs his map and he goes, "Hey, it's a nice map. I need a hip too." Just kidding. Rip it up. Get in my plane, fly over America the beautiful, go over the amber waves of grain, go over the purple mountains majesty, the sea to shining sea, and just drop them thingies all over the
country.
The scout,
and he knows that Chester is not healthy enough to fly.
He's part of the CIA. That's why he's like, nope, you ain't gonna get this.
That's the thing. I think Mean Eugene. I think he's only called that because that's coming from the Chester Cheetah angle. Right. But I think actually Mean Eugene's probably like the hero, and Chester is the one who's trying to take advantage of the kind of this illicit trade. He basically wants to have someone killed so that he can walk a little less like squeakily, when really he has no one to blame but himself and his diet, honestly, for his hips.
Oh yeah, and Mean Eugene, by the way, is
Eugene Levy.
Well,
played him in the feature film of this game.
I was going to say, well, yeah, Eugene Levy, obviously, I mean, the king of direct-to-video. All hail Eugene Levy.
Indeed.
Eugene, real Mean Eugene. Is that his name? Mean Eugene?
Yes.
I've lost the name. He is a direct descendant of Mean Gene Okerlund, who, as most people know, he was like a commentator and he was like a backstage guy for WCW, World Championship Wrestling. People don't know, he was also the orchestrator of the Great Calendar Wars. back in the 90s, or what they call the 2120s.
Yeah, and he was assassinated, I believe, kind of a Franz Ferdinand type character.
Right? Yeah, that's what they call the shot heard round the year, because calendars, year.
Shot heard round the calendars, the Franz Ferdinand of this war, the calendar war.
Mm-hmm.
Gene Okerlund, sorry.
Mean Gene Okerlund.
Mm-hmm.
Mean Eugene was his son.
Oh, that's interesting.
Not to be confused with Mean Eugenics. Completely different thing in that war.
Yeah. There was the nice Eugenics and the mean Eugenics. Right. The nice Eugenics was kind of good because it just made everybody pretty.
That's what we're the product of.
But then the mean Eugenics just made everybody like look ugly just so the mean people could just make fun of them for being ugly. It was like a bullying thing. It was not so good for us.
Be a star. Be a Johnson's kid. A Johnson's kid was what they called the people that were part of the nice Eugenics. So
yes. And a Johnson kid was what you would call the kids who just looked straight up like penises. They just made these humans that looked like a large penis with kind of like a scrotum sac body.
9 feet tall.
Yeah.
Each of them.
And when they spoke, the scrotal sac would like inflate, kind of like a toad's underthroat.
Yep.
And it was just very unsightly. They're also very prone to like filling with like a sort of like a pus and oil.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they'd have to lance the sack.
That's great.
So, I mean, you can see why it's called mean Eugenics, because they were created both to look horrifying and also to lead a horrifyingly painful and disgusting life.
I feel so bad for them. That's why I'm laughing. I just feel so bad. This is crying.
As you should. Luckily, they all died with Earth. Thankfully.
Thank goodness.
They didn't have to live on, but we'll remember them always for the Johnsons that they were. Not the Johnsons that they wanted to be, not the Johnsons that they were.
Yeah, you could just say they were just dicks.
Yeah, but like that took on a different meaning at the time, and it kind of meant like, oh, you're just one of us. You're like one of the guys. It was kind of like a good
just
thing.
A couple of dicks. And also, if they were detectives, it's just like, you can't catch a break.
The dicks.
Yeah, so speaking of dicks, Chester Cheetah's trying to find these hips.
Yep.
And this city, a city made of hips.
But he can't find its location easily because he's lost the map.
He's got to find the map pieces, so he's got to go to some different locales all across these here United States. And by these here, I mean those there. Just shot across the space, time continuum at this point. Got places like Omaha.
Mm-hmm. Omaha, Nebraska.
Not to be confused with Omaha NASCAR.
It's almost like this game like couldn't. I think it's trying to like have jokes, but it comes across more like they couldn't afford the non-existent royalty fees.
I was gonna say it's a city
for the city names.
They're not copyrighted. You can just use the city names.
I know. It's like,
and it's also there's a map that it's okay. It'd be different if they're like, no, this isn't Omaha. This is Omaha. And it's like some completely different place on the map. No, it's just like right there where Omaha is on the map. It's just right on Nebraska.
It's pointed at Omaha, Nebraska, but they just don't give you... It's just like, nope, it's spelt wrong. So you don't really know, is it spelled wrong? It's supposed to be like a joke, like hog. There are some pigs in that level, but it's not like all pig-themed.
There's pigs, there's scarecrows, there
are cattle with...
sunglasses on.
Sunglasses and septum rings.
I want to say that the pigs and the scarecrows also have sunglasses on. And the titular cheetah also has
most things wear sunglasses. And sunglasses are also a pickup that give you one-ups.
And there's also the Cheetos paws, which we had to look up because they are the 90s shape of like the Cheetos Puffs.
Yeah, they were like a separate product that's been discontinued since. I mean, obviously, it was discontinued when the Earth blew up. You know what I mean? But They were discontinued well before that,
too. The one thing we miss here is, you know what? You want to talk about?
They were discontinued in the year 18654, according to the New World Calendar.
Right. Well, you want to talk about some like cancerous food that we could probably use today?
Oh,
the most.
Yeah, I'm sure the original Moon Men were chomping on these things because they look straight up radioactive, practically.
They glow. You put them in a box. You put the box on the other side of the room. You turn off the light. You can find your way to the other side of the room.
Yeah,
it's bad.
Just because of the smell.
Well, yeah, they smell dangerously cheesy. They would say.
That was not like a coy marketing thing. Like they were dangerous.
They're just like, they're not only dangerously cheesy.
It wasn't false advertising because they were allowed to sell them, and it wasn't false advertising because they actually said dangerously cheesy. They told people the warning up front. The FDA said, you have to warn people, these are dangerous. They said, okay, fine. Dangerously cheesy. The FDA was like, it's a loophole, but you got us.
That's right. And then the FDA, they just approved it. They all ate it. And then the FBA, or the FDA, dissipated like 2 years after that.
Mm-hmm.
So, because they all ate those Cheetos paws. So anyway, you collect Cheetos paws in this game, which you're probably, they're like all over the place, and you're like, you will stomp on like a creature, and like a huge Cheetos paw will pop out. You're probably doing it a favor by taking it away from it. So you have to find a map piece. Pretty much this entire game is you go into a level, find a map piece, you exit the level. That's it. That's all you do. And you go to the next one. You can pick whatever. It's like Mega Man style. You can go and pick whatever you want, level-wise. You can go to Omaha.
This fits into our games that needlessly feature a Mega Man-like level system.
Exactly.
Where you could go to any level in any order, although there's absolutely no reason.
You can go to Omaha. You can go to any other level that I can't remember the name of.
There's like New York City one called like
New York
Lost in the Big City or something.
The Big Pair. Yeah. To be honest, we didn't play enough of this game to even figure out what the other levels are called, because this game,
it was so hard to play because the controls were so bad. We spent a good chunk of time playing it, but this was all on levels that were mind-boggling.
Well, yeah, the levels were real. Okay, so the first level you started, I can't remember the name of the city, but the first level we started...
It was the New York City level, essentially.
The Big Pair. I'm going to call it that.
Yeah.
The Big Boysenberry. You started the level, you were on a dock. Like water, like not a dry dock. You're on like a wet dock.
Yeah, like a loading dock.
Yeah, yes, exactly. So you walk off the edge of this, you fall in the water, and you hit a fish instantaneously, and you crumble. And you die.
Instant death.
One hit kill
Cheeto
game.
death.
Sweet. So you did it like 3 more times, and you're like, oh, cool. Okay, so what am I doing wrong? Nothing. The game just says the worst controls. It's either you can move at a slug's pace, or you can hold down the run button, and you can go way too fast to actually control.
Like Sonic the Hedgehog levels are running.
Exactly. And then you can also jump.
But with very lagged turning and jumping controls. So it's like Sonic, but without good controls.
Well, he does
also terrible level.
He does the extremely great thing that everyone loves in video games, which is you stop and you continue to skid. Which
every level's an ice level, basically.
Everyone loves it. Everyone loves those controls. That's why, that's why after Mario 1, they just made all ice Mario levels.
Mm-hmm.
That's why those games obviously did so well.
Yeah.
Because they're ice levels. So, yeah, that game, not Mario, but Chester Cheetah, you can run, you can jump, you can also do this weird, like, jump in the air that is the exact same animation, like, the double, triple, quadruple, I think you actually do it 6 times.
Yeah.
The double jump, essentially, is the same animation as the swimming animation.
As swimming, so it looks like you're just swimming up into the air.
Like you've broken the game.
And we thought that it was just a glitch that we discovered. But it is core to reaching most of the power-ups and stuff in the level.
Yeah, so the game, it's a simple premise. I wouldn't say it's a simple premise, because a simple premise would just be walking from one side to the other side. It is very, very slight deviation from the normal platformer.
In the way that you don't finish the level simply by going from left to right. If you travel all the way to the right, it'll say, hey, you forgot the map piece, and you have to kind of hunt them out. They're in like kind of strange places, typically like vertical, like vertically up, vertically down, somewhere along the way.
Right, you can't just walk from left to right, because you'll never find it. It'll be like, hey man, you need that map piece. Hey boy, why don't you bring me one of them damn map pieces, and then you can finish me.
Hey, you dang cheater, what are you doing over there? Where that map piece at? If you can't flash me that map, you ain't no way you going past me here.
That's right.
I'll flash my gat at you, I'll shoot you in the throat.
Yeah, dude, he got shot a couple times in that game. It's sick. It's so sick. So you gotta find it. He goes and he finds it, and brings it to the end of the level, and then it pops up with the boss. And also keep in mind, the game is still one-hit kill. So the boss, the level that we got to, the end of Omaha.
Once again, it's like going against the Sonic boss, but when you got hit and your rings flew out, you just died.
Yes.
So now, you don't have the nice thing in Sonic where you can keep collecting a ring or 2 rings, and saving your life.
Exactly. You can, however, pick up a like a Cheetos bag. You can pick up a Cheetos bag, and it gives you like a second hit. So anyway, we got to the end of the first level, Omaha. I mean, the first level would be anyway.
Yeah,
and
that was the first one we fought the boss.
You get to me and Eugene. He's riding a tractor around. It pretty much, once again, it's a lot like the bosses in Sonic, like the Dr. Robotnik bosses. He's riding a tractor around. He throws bombs. Okay, yeah, you don't want to get hit by an explosion of a bomb. That would kill you. I can understand why a bomb laying on the ground, exploding, would murder a cheetah. No matter how fast the cheetah ran, or how, like, morbidly obese, how, like, high his cholesterol and blood sugar levels were, it would probably still kill him. He's not immortal to that.
Now, if that cheetah were to simply walk and touch that bomb laying on the ground before it exploded, would he die? In this game...
Oh, most definitely.
Yes. In reality, no. Also, would the enemy shoot out bombs, a ton of bombs in all directions, when you hit him once? Well, this game says yes, it would, and they would all instantly kill you, pretty much.
Yeah. So we got to the end of the first. Okay, finally beat Omaha. I keep saying Omaha because literally, other than that New York one we played for 5 minutes, didn't touch any more of this crappy game. Got to the end of it here. Touched it. Touched the bomb, that is. No, I could touch some other stuff too, but I also touched the bomb. Died. Started the boss over again.
Boss is me and Eugene.
Me and Eugene.
I don't know if we said that.
Yeah, on the
me and Eugene in a tractor.
Touch it again. Got a game over. Turned the game off. Threw it out the window. Burned it. Shot my house up. Killed everyone in sight. Because this game sucks that bad. So
it's a pretty bad game. It has some okay music.
The music is like chopped and screwed.
It's like smooth jazz.
Yeah. Chopped and screwed smooth jazz mixed with like 50s like Jerry Lee Lewis, Buddy Holly, like Chuck Berry guitar stuff.
Yeah, really, it just made me want to go down to engineering, talk to our friends there, see if they could dig some of the old foodstuffs out of the warehouse and see if we could get ourselves some paws to gnaw upon.
Mm-hmm.
So it worked.
Got him?
It was a successful game.
Oh.
I haven't gone yet.
Oh, okay.
You know what? Let's go now.
All right, let's.
We took the water from the mountain tips so you can drink these on your little nips. Boob cola, drink it in your titty boob.
Nice. You just made $1 million. Look at that. Look at my bank account. Look at ching, 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 ching.
The royalties are flowing in for new Boob Cola jingle.
Boob Cola, we've hit a new low.
Boob Cola, can you throw them over your shoulder?
Like a Continental Soldier?
Continental Soldier.
Mm-hmm.
Continental Breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about...
Continental Breakfast. I love free breakfast.
Continental Breakfast kind of sucks, though.
Let's talk about Continental Breakfast that you
normally
have to pay for. Because that... What? Why?
No, never. Continental Breakfast that you don't have to pay for still kind of sucks because you're like... you go there and it's like a half of a roll, a half a sleeve of bagels, and then like a jam sack.
When I went to college, back, Moon U.
University.
No, Moon U. It's get it?
Mooniversity.
Yes, exactly. Not to be confused with Muniversity, which is Frankie Muniz College.
Yeah.
I went to school at a place that they had a really bad cafeteria, and in the cafeteria, the coolest part of the actual cafeteria was there was a soft serve machine, like for ice cream. Mm-hmm. Next to it, there was a thing that looked like a soft serve machine
But it's
Like
for
a
sour
soft-
cream.
I wish. That would be pretty good. No, it was a soft serve machine, but what it did was it was like a soft serve machine that was above a waffle iron. This is not a joke, by the way. This is really what it was.
Okay, so it was like waffle batter or something.
It was
You would
waffle
squirt out.
batter. You squirt the you hit the button, and it shot out a predetermined amount of waffle batter.
See, make your own waffles. I'm into.
Yeah, and the problem is people would do that, and it would turn on automatically, by the way, when you would push the button, even if you didn't close it. So people would just do it and walk away. So there'd always be like scorched waffle on top of it.
And it would just like
scrape off
plop on top of the closed iron.
on the top of the open iron.
Oh, okay.
So it would just be hot, and it would just like, plop it down there, and it'd just be like cooked on one side and then like just like slimy on the other side. And then like you'd have to scrape that off, and then if you want to actually make a waffle.
That's too much work. I wouldn't make a waffle.
So continental breakfast, however, nothing like that.
I think probably the main...
There's nothing that cool at continental breakfast.
I think
usually.
probably the main thing I missed from my college cafeteria was that they had one of those like big heavy steel like bats that you lifted up and then it like made milk come out.
You're talking about a cow's leg.
No, like the milk. Have you ever seen the milk dispensers where they have like a thing you lift, like a lever you lift, then make the milk come out? But it's always this big metal thing. It's not like you know, a typical like, oh, it's a little plastic thing I lift up.
I see what you're saying.
It's like a big heavy paddle you lift up.
You're talking
They
about.
had those, and it was unlimited chocolate milk any time of the day.
God, everyone was just like crapping their pants and getting diabetes. At the
I
same
was,
time.
but it was awesome.
Oh God, those were the days. I missed college and I had diabetes and pooped.
I miss
constantly.
college only because I got to eat near unlimited chocolate milk.
I love eating chocolate milk. Who doesn't love eating chocolate milk?
Well, I would normally like add stuff to it, like I put like egg whites and egg yolks in it, so it was kind of like eating it once I finished it.
Do you know who else likes eating chocolate milk?
Probably a powerful Jim. Jim Powers,
He does.
superhero, debonair, space captain, explorer. Jim Powers. We played his second video game today.
It's the second one?
It is
Oh, that's
the
right.
second one.
That's right. It is the second one.
It's Jim Powers in the Lost Dimension 3D.
Was he trying to capitalize on the like late 2000s / early to mid 2010s trend? Is he trying to like be ahead of the curve and be like, no, this is in 3D? This was made by IMAX, right?
Yes, it was made by IMAX, but it was
IMAX.
not IMAX.
I mean, it makes sense. That's why it was in 3D.
It is in 3D. Well, it came with 3D glasses if you bought it in the
It's
store.
not actually in 3D.
It is not in 3D. It is a 2D game. Now, it does feature one of the NES's, or excuse me, Super NES's.
Super Nintendo, the fifth?
Third or fifth Nintendo.
Either the third or the fifth, chronologically.
Now, the Super Nintendo did, one of its primary features that it kind of like, they sold when that system was coming out was something called parallax scrolling.
Mode 7.
Mode 7 was the specific type of parallax scrolling, I believe, in the Super Nintendo.
Yes.
So this game features heavily on that, which basically just means you have the plane that you're playing on. You have like your 2D plane, and then there's another 2D plane that's behind it, and another one that's behind it.
And so
that
on and so forth.
They shift at different speeds. Like if you're going left to right, the background closest to you will go at one speed, and then farther away, the idea is that they would also shift, but more slowly.
Because it's further away.
Because it's further away. Like if you're running past a mountain, that mountain will be in the distance most of the time you're running, but it will slowly move if there was like a camera fixed on you.
Exactly.
Now, this game attempts to ratchet up the 3D by having the parallax scrolling effect being just insane.
Gosh.
And by that I mean it doesn't do what I was saying where the mountain in the distance goes slower than like the ground near you. The ground near you moves more slowly than the mountain in the distance, which makes everything kind of take on this like nauseating, twisting feeling.
You take one step. It would be the equivalent of you taking a step and then the entire Earth spinning around you once.
Yeah, it's like, it's crazy looking. I don't know if it's necessarily bad. It's not really bad looking. Like the game itself looks good.
It's a good looking game.
It looks weird, and I don't know if that was like intentional. Like they wanted to ramp it up and make it look more 3D, But then also maybe if they wanted it, it's supposed to be in this lost virtual dimension, so maybe they wanted it to look strange compared to real life or something.
To be fair, this game is also notorious for being one of, if not the most difficult games.
And it
at least of the
is.
Super Nintendo, possibly of all time. It is insanely difficult. So that only, I mean, honestly, it would be extremely difficult if it had none of that.
Yeah.
But it's just like, this also, it's like playing the most difficult game while being rocked back and forth on a boat.
Yeah, and this makes like jumping to platforms, everything's one hit kill, you fall off a platform and then you'll get, you fall off a platform and, oh, great, you landed on spikes. Well, imagine if you're trying to, trying to jump, I got moon dust in my throat. You're trying to,
Need some moon milk?
no, I'm okay.
Milk of magnesium?
You're trying to jump on a platform. The platform itself is moving. Then you're moving. And as you're moving mid-jump, also the platform's moving and the backgrounds are all like whipping around, moving. Yeah. It makes it much more visually difficult than it would be just on its own.
Yeah, and this game also, by the way, how many hits do you think it's going to take? How many licks does it take? Let me try this again. Let me set this up again. How many hits does it take to get to the center of a hero? 1? 2? Oh, no, just 1.
Just one.
Yeah, you die in 1 hit. It's just great.
When you said hero, I thought you meant like a gyro or like a gyro.
Oh, I can eat one of those in 1 hit. Give me that.
Bite size.
Yeah.
Swallow it whole.
That's right. Just my face just like doused in cucumber sauce.
That's sweet
and then also the
tzatziki
sauce. Also the sauce that comes on the sandwich too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sandwich?
I don't know. Wrap?
I don't think I'm comfortable with you calling it a sandwich. Wrap, I'm comfortable with.
Okay, what is it? What would you call it?
I would just call it by its name.
A gyro?
A gyro. Or a gyro. Or a hero, depending on who you're talking to.
Do you remember like back in the 90s when you would go, in the 1990s? We're in the 90s now. The 1990s.
Yeah, not the 2090s.
You remember when you go to the fair and there would be that dude there that would have like 3 of those like weird like ring things and you're like, whoa, what's that? And you're like, go and you walk over to it and he's like, this Sonny Jim, well, not to be confused with Jim Power, that's
okay,
else.
3 ring things.
This is a gyroscope.
Oh, I know what you mean.
Oh, yeah. And they strap you in and they spin you around.
Yeah, where you grab it in by like, you kind of like spread your feet and legs out like the Vitruvian Man.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. You look like the perfect, idyllic human being. So
yeah, and they would spin you around.
When I was a kid, I used to be obsessed with those things, and I would go every time we go to a fair. There'd be one. I don't know why, because like I get super motion sick.
Okay,
they would always make me sick, and I had an idea when I was like 5 years old. By me, I'm talking about my grandfather, my great grandfather, obviously. But I had this idea that I would travel the country to every single location that had a gyroscope and ride the gyroscope.
Least cool thing you could think of.
The coolest cool thing ever.
They're all the same.
I know, but I thought I would do it, and I was like, I can't wait. I'm gonna go across the world and I'm gonna ride every gyroscope.
It's not like roller coasters where like they're all different.
No, they're all the same. I thought it was such a cool idea.
Well, I'm sad that your dream is dead now.
No, what are you talking about? I've been doing it for years. I've got all but 6 of them.
Well,
the 6 rarest gyroscopes in the U.S. They're coming to me.
Oh, you ordered their parts be returned from the cold void of space.
Salvaged. Yeah, haven't you seen my? I don't know. You've never been in my room.
No, but I've heard you have a pretty good gyro collection.
Oh, my gyroscope collection.
I thought it was the sandwiches you were talking about.
Yeah, well, those are there too. What I do is I take a gyro.
You strap it into a tiny gyroscope,
yes.
Spin it, and then in low gravity of the Earth, you flick tzatziki sauce at it.
That's right. Is it tzatziki sauce, cucumber sauce? Is that the same thing?
Yeah, I think it's tzatziki sauce is what it's called.
Is it the same thing?
Yeah, as the cucumber.
Oh, okay.
And like basil or something. Thyme
basil.
Sauce.
Cucumber,
thyme.
Basil, thyme. Yeah, that's how I eat them. Low gravity, extreme, collect all the gyroscope rides you can, set. Yeah, so, yeah, I'm working on it.
It's just like a time-specific thing, because like they didn't have those forever.
I thought it was the coolest thing.
This guy. So how many did you get? Like 2?
3, maybe. I think I rode like 4 or 5 different ones. I don't know. Not many. I rode one at Kings Island, I think, one year, and then I rode one at a county fair, and then I think I rode one at
I didn't even think about that.
Covered Bridge Festival.
You were saying every fair you would go to?
I thought I would go to like every fair in the United States and
There's
ride
so much.
I don't know. I was 5. It was a good idea at the time. So I didn't get to, unfortunately. But luckily, this game right here can make me feel like I'm on a gyroscope at any time.
It can, but not always in a good way.
No. Luckily, it does mix it up. There's a couple different kinds of levels in this. There's a standard 2D platformer. Plays a lot like Turrican, which I said the music even sounds like a Dragon Force song, which is what the Turrican music sounds like. Same guy does the music.
Yeah, the music in this game is awesome.
Over the top levels would be sweet, like arm wrestling levels. Yeah. But overhead levels that are
like top down,
even more nauseating because it is top down, and whenever you turn, your character does not turn on the screen.
The whole level shifts.
Your screen turns, so it sucks. Then there are some spaceship shooter levels, which are pretty fun. They play kind of like Thunder Force or something like that. They're just like a standard
side-scroll shooter, but hard.
Shooter. Oh yeah, it's the hardest game. Okay, kids, we don't condone this because it's not really something you should do, but we cheated at this game. Probably going to prison. Good thing that Earth doesn't exist anymore. We would be in jail now.
We had to cheat if we were going to see what we needed to see.
We set it up on level skip. So when a level got too hard, we just skipped it. And we also set up on the thing where every single time that I needed more lives,
I could just hit a button.
Christian just hit the button and I'd get more lives. So otherwise we would have made it. We wouldn't even have made it past the first level. No, actually, I could guarantee because I only made it halfway through the first level before I died. And I feel like I was doing pretty well.
Yeah, we wouldn't have made it through.
So we saw the end of the game. Play this there's this weird Gary Coleman mixed with
a Down syndrome child.
Like an extra chromosome mixed with bat wings. Mixed with a gimp suit.
Yeah.
So pretty much Gary Coleman.
That was the first boss.
Yeah, well, that was the last boss.
Oh, yeah, sorry, the last boss. It was so lame, it seemed like a first boss.
The first boss was
actually cooler than the last boss. It was like an eyeball
with some stuff, and then there was also the penis mobile thing that we fought against for a while. And then we fought against a spaceship with that kind of looked like a penis too. And then we fought Gimp Gary Coleman at the end, and we won.
And Gary Coleman was extremely lame for how hard and impressive that game's visuals were. So up to that point, he also literally just looked like an action figure just jumping around, and he was the easiest boss by far. He had to actually fight. But then we did beat the game, and Jim Powers was safe and sound, and then he was able to escape the virtual worlds he was being held prisoner in, which is what we found out about the Lost Dimension, and then he was on his way to Sierra Base, which I don't know, but I'm interested to know if there was a Jim Powers in the Sierra Base third game that ever got made. I don't believe there was, but
I don't think there was.
They set it up for a sequel because they specifically mentioned Sierra Base, which sounds cool and the kind of thing you would name a game at the time.
You know what? I know what it is. Sierra Base. You know, Sierra was a game company for a long time, and they're back now, but they were gone. One of the last games they published was Half-Life. Do you know what this game is? Half-Life 3.
Oh my god. Sierra Base is like Black Mesa?
Yes.
So there's Aperture Science, Black Mesa, Sierra Base.
Lost Dimension.
Which was the Lost Dimension. So he wasn't actually in the Lost Dimension, he was just on one of the alien planets?
He never talks in this game.
In one of the alien dimensions. He doesn't talk.
Right.
He does have a suit on and you can see his head.
He doesn't have a crowbar.
He has Gordon Freeman-esque.
Mm-hmm. He jumps in this game, so obviously physics exists in this world too. And so it's probably you could say it's physics based.
It is probably then Half-Life 3, or at least a third Half-Life game, if not. To be fair,
there are 4 of them. Are there 4 Half-Life games?
There are 5 if you count Blue Shift and Opposing Force, and Half-Life 1 and Half-Life 2.
But this takes place before because obviously the third game in
if you count Portal and Portal 2 also.
Yeah.
Then you
does Team Fortress 2 take place in the same universe? No. Does Counter-Strike take place in the same universe?
No.
Even it doesn't take place in the Source universe?
No.
Okay.
I don't believe so.
Okay, so yeah, this is Half-Life 3 confirmed. Breaking. Share this. Subscribe.
Download the game immediately. Play it.
Yes. steal all of the Valve games because obviously
trust me, in 2099 we're still waiting. We're still waiting for Half-Life 3.
You get all choked up for it? I know.
It gives me the sleeps.
You know what they say? You know what they say? Valve can't count to 3. Oh, bow, 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 bow.
And I'm just like, Valve, 1, 2, 3. It's easy. Make your next Half-Life game. Call it Half-Life 3.
No.
Maybe they just call it Half-Life 2 again.
This is called Half-Life 2. And then it has a plus, and then a 1 at the end.
Although the truth of it is Valve doesn't know how to count to 3 because Valve counts to 2, and then they found that they could just make really, really profitable free-to-play games, and they don't ever have to count to anything again except to count to like billion, 1 billion, 2 billion, 4 billion. They could just skip 3 billion.
You want to know why they actually can't count to 3? Because Gabe Newell's dyslexic. Body by Slam Ball.
It's the name of my perfume. Oh, wait, no. The name of my perfume is Ball by Slam Body.
Do you know what? It's too bad Slam Ball didn't get really popular in like till the early 2000s because do you know what the most 90s thing ever is? Even more than gyroscopes?
BattleBots?
Slam Ball.
Or Slam Ball.
It's definitely an anachronism. It was an anachronism at the time. It's like, whoa, this has been out like 10 years
I still
ago.
thought it's awesome. I still think it's awesome. It does still exist. All right. Let us record the outro.
Mm-hmm. We are recording.
I must prepare myself. My mind and my body. Welcome to the end. The end of the episode.
Oh, that's it.
We've seen a lot today together.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked of cheetahs and of gyms, of bad eugenics, excuse me, mean eugenics, and of good eugenics, of calendars, and of calendees. We've talked of this all, and yet we've learned nothing.
Never. I don't think I've ever learned
Honestly,
anything on
we've not really ever learned anything yet. But, we're hoping that with practice time, we're just trying to get our 10,000 hours in.
the show. Yeah.
We'll be masters of this by the time we hit that 10,000 hour mark. We're just trying to get our 10,000 hours in. So this is hour 5.
Is that what you're doing it to be a master? Or I'm doing it to work off my community service for killing that guy.
Oh, yeah, I'm doing it to be a master. So I was hoping you'd stay on at least to become a master.
Well, I have 10,006 hours of community service.
Oh, well, that's great.
So works out just fine for me.
So we'll get like a good 5 or 6 episodes in then with you being a master. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I just wanted to record at least one master level podcast.
Yeah, they're going to get real good. And then and then I'm going to be done. And then I'm going to probably go take my gyroscope tour all across the universe.
Once I become a master, I think that it's only fitting to die.
Just commit seppuku on a gyroscope.
Mm-hmm. Whoa. So that takes true skill and sacrifice. Also, like the blood and guts from that would be horrifying.
Be pretty
Gets
dope.
tangled up in this scope.
You gotta do it quick too, because like you pay like $5, you only get like 3 minutes on a gyroscope.
You gotta say, this is my scope. I'm on my scope tour. What are you doing? Just riding scope.
Hey, is that a gyroscope you're on? No, this is a hero scope, because I'm a hero.
You get one of those like airbrushed fair t-shirts that says riding scope and has a hang loose hand and a gyroscope on it.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to take my hands and feet off of the gyroscope when I'm spinning on it, and I'm going to go around in an entire circle, and I'm going to get a shirt that says 360 no scope.
Oh, nice. And you pull your arms and legs in and just spin in a ball for a second and then grab it again.
Just become pure energy at that point.
Are you hoping, by going on this tour, are you hoping that you'll have like a contact moment, like in Contact, where they drop her into that gyroscope and she gets to see kind of like God and aliens and her dad.
Well, I'm literally going to go to other planets like where aliens obviously exist because everyone knows aliens exist.
Anyone with gyroscopes, then.
Right. Technically, we're aliens because we don't live on Earth anymore. Technically.
You got us there.
So on a technicality, we're aliens. But other aliens, I mean, dude, humans made some dope ass gyroscopes. Imagine what an alien gyroscope is. It probably it's literally, like they're made of pipes. It probably is just a huge bong, and you're probably just ripping it the whole time. You're just like,
it could be
spinning in like 720s and like 360 no scopes, and just
they have a different drug in each ring. Like each ring's its own separate bong.
Whoa, talk about 3 dimensions.
You're like, whoa, I'm seeing in 3 dimensions, brah.
My third eye is so big and so cloudy. I got cotton mouth in my second mouth.
I got cotton, bro, in my bro.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
Alien gyroscopes are going to be so cool.
They are, and
but I got to do this community service first, so it's going to be a while. I guess I got something to look forward to.
Well, while we work off the community service, we can survey the skies for those gyroscopes as well as build our gyroscope ship. Because I would like to accompany you to this bong planet where these gyroscopes are and rip it big.
Oh, we totally can.
So we're going to work on that. You guys go to MoonTube, Facebook, TwitFace, Instamoon, really anywhere you'd like. Go to joysticktuggers.com or joysticktuggers@gmail.com. That's our moon mail. Send us some stuff. Talk to us, ladies and gents. Listen to us. If you like what the archive here, if you think it's amazing technology that has come to you from the future, then send it to other people.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to go try to make the gyroscope dream happen here for Jared, okay?
Right. We're looking to start another podcast in the future about gyroscopes eventually.
Yeah,
very, very cool.
That'd be after we're masters, though, so we have a little while.
Oh yeah, we're building up to that. It's gonna be our grand opus.
So go ahead and do that, and we're gonna go do this. Goodbye from the moon.
Bye.
We hope this transmission meets you, person of the past, in times of peace and plenty. As always, remember, pickles make the best gifts. Goodbye.
keeps me feeling good all day. My cola keeps me rocking the wind and I wanna see my pop and cola and cola.